to 54, the motion is agreed to. Call on Government Order of the Day number 2.
Student Loan Scheme Amendment Bill, third reading.
Speaker.
The Honourable Phil Heatley.
Speaker, I move that the Student Loan Scheme Amendment Bill be now read a third time. The measures contained in the bill are designed around two principles: that the student loan scheme should be fair and transparent, and that borrowers should be responsible and accountable for the repayment of their loan. In relation to the first principle of ensuring fairness across the scheme, the bill removes the ability for New Zealand-based borrowers to offset losses against income in order to reduce their liability for student loan repayment purposes. The bill also proposes to extend pay period assessments to the earnings of all borrowers and remove annual square-up assessments for borrowers' salary and wage earnings. To maintain fairness, borrowers who have significantly overpaid their repayment obligations on a pay period basis will still be able to apply for a refund, while those who have significantly underpaid will have catch-up deductions made. In relation to the second principle, that of encouraging borrowers to take responsibility for their loan repayments, from 1st of January 2013, Inland Revenue will be able to receive contact details provided to StudyLink by all new loan applicants as a condition of securing a loan. This will help Inland Revenue to maintain contact with borrowers who leave New Zealand to travel overseas or who change addresses frequently. Finally, the bill reduces the current repayment overseas holiday provision from 3 years to 1 year. Again, this measure is designed to encourage overseas-based borrowers to resume their repayment obligations within a reasonable time frame. These are the main features of the Student Loan Scheme Amendment Bill. The measures were part of a suite of changes announced in Budget 2011 to take effect from 1st of April this year. While the general election and resulting lapse of legislation has had the effect of delaying the passage of this and other bills, 1st of April is the date that employers and Inland Revenue have worked towards implementing the proposed changes. In the interests of cost effectiveness for employers and certainty to borrowers, 1st of April 2012 should therefore remain the date upon which the measures in the bill become effective. For some time now, Inland Revenue has been preparing to implement these changes, and these will be completed by this weekend. As always, I am grateful for the efforts of all those who have contributed towards the passage of this bill so far. My thanks to the officials across several agencies who collaborated on the policy development work and the drafters who worked on the detail of the draft legislation. Thank you very much for working so closely with me and, of course, with the Honourable Peter Dunn. I also want to thank those who made submissions on the bill to improve its application in practice.
Point of order.
Thank the committee.
Point of order. The Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Mr. Speaker, I think one of the terrible things, I'm not going to draw to your attention something which I'm not allowed to, but can I just ask, as the Minister does it, he makes the changes to indicate he's reading it on behalf of someone else?
Yeah, well, the Minister's making a speech. I called the Honourable Phil Heatley to make the speech. I didn't call the Honourable Peter Dunn, or speaking on behalf of the Honourable Peter Dunn. So the Honourable Phil Heatley can continue his speech in the manner in which he has become accustomed.
Absolutely. So again, I reiterate, I thank officials for working very, very closely with me and also with my colleague, the Honourable Peter Dunn. I also want to thank those who made submissions, and I wish to thank the committee for its consideration of the proposed reforms and its recommendations to improve their overall effect. As it now stands, we have another very practical mechanism for achieving greater integrity and transparency across the student loan scheme, and it's with great pleasure that I again commend this bill to the House.
The question is that the motion be agreed to. Grant Robertson.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. For the benefit of those listening, that wasn't the Honourable Peter Dunn.